Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear not hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside a rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen to. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out and sell out Babylon. They give man show one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead and can sell out Rasta and sell out, I sell out Babylon. Yes, stop on the Friday. You might go and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing, man, throw and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
All politicians are created equal. Some are just more equal than others. Good evening and welcome to Global TV. We come out here this evening. The Andrew Holness equals negotiate with equals Prime Minister. Maybe you don't understand it. Maybe you've never heard of Vale Royal. So, in case you don't know how things go, we kind of come to set your trade and whip you into shape this evening, as well as we'll look at some of these developments you would probably already have seen. We will look at the developments of what took place in Commodore Linstead. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Thank you very much for being here to my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good evening and welcome. A one hearty big good evening to everybody. We can't do roll call right now, come and hide them and grovel me. But good evening, welcome one and all. Thank you all for being here. Lovely to have your support as usual. Now, as usual, we know Junker normally pitch pan dead meat. The Prime Minister has made his way to Commodore. We are going to listen. We'll deal with equals amongst equals after, but we'll look at the update in what took place last night. But I want to ask the Jamaica Constabulary Force a question. Given what we are hearing now, we asked this morning and we are going to ask again. Does the Jamaica Constabulary Force have any involvement in last night's mass shooting, surreptitious or not? We want to know, because it wouldn't be too strange or too far-fetched for such a thing. But let us listen to get Tita Plunder out of the way first.
Personal.
Quickly listen to Tita Plunder.
I'm here.
State of mind is more.
I'm here to personally express to the family members my own personal and sincere and deep condolences on this very tragic incident which has taken the lives of 4 innocent Jamaicans and has threatened the lives of members of the community. And I'm hoping for the speedy recovery of those who were injured in this unwarranted attack. I'm also here to assure the families and loved ones of the victims that the Jamaican state and government will support them through this very difficult time, whether it is with support in counseling or in supporting any other needs that may arise. As I have met with some of the family members, I am seeing where there are needs, and some have even expressed particular support that they would require. So the entire government will be mobilized to give support to the victims and the loved ones of the victims. Now, I'm also here to highlight a few other important facts that should give context to the Jamaican discourse on our law enforcement strategy. We have been very successful in reducing murders. We have reduced murders consistently over the past 3 years.
No, it's not.
And that has to be balanced against the
Prime Minister spoke today on what happened last night, but me never listened to it. At first, I listened to it. So me want to hear if there's anything we need to throw him up against the wall about.
Need to reassure the public that the security forces are operating in such a way as to preserve life, to exemplify the highest respect for human rights and dignity, and to ensure that how they operate is to target specifically those who are committing the crimes and those who are supporting them.
The Prime Minister is aware that this part of his statement is not true. He is aware of that, isn't it? We're talking about the police work with respect for human rights, and you know that part is not true, PM. Just to be clear with you, you know that bit. No gossip. Continue.
As well as to undermine the ecosystem that protects them, and that the innocent does not become a victim of our effort.
Oh, how thrilling would that last sentence sound, Prime Minister, if you would have gone down to Territory Lane to have said that? Because this segment of your statement, Prime Minister, it's what should have been said by you or the Minister of Importing Illegal Guns after Jamar Ferguson was murdered. When you say I lose one stone, kill two birds, I saw it go.
And it is a delicate balance sometimes, but I am confident that the security forces understand the mission. I am confident that they have taken.
You're confident that the security forces understand the mission. The mission, meet your judge or your maker, but they just deal with the meet your maker part. I wonder if Andrew Holness would talk to us with back and front tongue.
Taken the necessary steps in terms of training, in terms of intelligence, in terms of investigation, and the government has given the support in terms of equipment, legislation, and policy direction to ensure that the mission, which is not just to reduce crime, in particular murders, but to create a peaceful Jamaica. That is the mission. But I'm also here to point out that the mission, though we are making progress, is not complete. And the conversation cannot proceed as if there are not dangerous and evil persons still in our midst with the capabilities.
How would you, though, Prime Minister, see those 23 police officers? Do you think those 23 police officers, because I drop what for Jamar Ferguson Madayana, you know, rather than you would have gone to attend and speak to her, you come out now with your bare-faced conscience, a drop word. Max Romy, let me start on you this evening.
To unleash on an innocent population the greatest terror.
What do you mean this is not politics? How do you know say no Horace Strong gun? Make a thought on you, Max Romeo. Vegas, make a thought on you. How you know say the gun them we used last night and out of the gun with Horace Strong carrying at the country? How you know say surreptitious police not there behind this? How you know say this is not an order by the government in order to invoke them terrorism? Remember Margaret Thatcher? Margaret Thatcher ordered the bombing of her own ship in the Falklands in order to go to war with Argentina. It's all politics, not never clean about politics. Life and death always in a politics. Go and talk out of your liar, the wicked, evil, thief in finger cement mouth, your Prime Minister.
It's terror. And to deprive innocent Jamaicans of their lives. Criminals, evil men, gangsters are still in the midst of our society.
Prime Minister, I have problem with your one-sided, dull one-side tongue and sharp one-side tongue. You ought to have addressed one of the problem in our society, the violence coming from the police. The violence coming from the police, Prime Minister. The way how police approach their job, because that took the people off guard last night, you know. The explanation given, that took the people off guard last night. Why I'm saying is there's something surreptitious going on here. The gangster them seem to have realized that whenever time police go round the yard, police just jump out and announce themselves and do them thing. And they've used that to distract the people. There's a lot of things in the police force where you need to address Andrew Holness, whole heap, in order. If you think you want them to fight crime and bring down the crime and bring peace, there's so much that you need to address with security in this country.
And the only thing that protects us from them is our security forces that defend the law. And I say that very importantly. It is in the...
That's not true, Prime Minister. We saw where 23 police officers murdered an innocent man, plant a gun, and lied about it. And you all have not addressed it. And then you come out here after we don't know if we're not involved in this mass shooting. I big up the police and I go on like the police are angels of mercy. Come on, Prime Minister. We are Jamaicans.
In the defense of the law, that our security forces have the credibility in the minds of the public to pursue the strategy. So this incident in which arbitrary attack was unleashed on innocent citizens, by all accounts, a 4-year-old.
I do agree with you on that, Prime Minister. But that same level of attack was unleashed on Jamar Ferguson. Oh, come you not hear about it? From you come from foreign. I know you don't hear about it, you know. But me notice in your statement for this recent mass shooting, you drop word for down a Cherry Tree Lane. Because you're damn well shame about what you all did in Cherry Tree Lane. Not even shame what you do. Reverse that. Shame. So we caught on red-handed in a Cherry Tree Lane. And that's why we not dance around the issue. 9 or 8 people been shot is way too many. But Jamar Ferguson being murdered by 23 police officers was way too many. And at that we want Andrew Holness to address. The murder of an innocent young man by the state. That's what we want the Prime Minister to address.
11-year-old and 19-year-old, a mother of 3 children. By all accounts. Now, the conversation in the public domain as well about our crime fighting strategy sometimes forget the victims. And so my presence here as well is to highlight that we must also focus on the victims.
Jamar and his family. Are you going to get around to that, PM?
You know, the 3 children who are left behind by the murder of an innocent mother. The father who was just crying a while ago, his son didn't get to give him a grandson. The grandmother who was crying in her room, who was saying her grandson was the one who took care of her. The society must place great importance on the victims of crime, in as much as sometimes we pay to the perpetrators of crime.
What about Jamar Ferguson's family, Prime Minister? Just so you just skip over the whole issue, so like the whole Jamar Ferguson never happened at all?
The victims of crime deserve justice for Jamaicans too. And the society, in how we speak, the narratives that we create around our situation, I think it is only fair that in the balance, the favor is towards the victims. So my presence here today is to also highlight the victims. But the nature of the crime is one that should also be highlighted. This crime amounts to what I would describe as an act of criminal terror.
You get around to the word. An act of criminal terror. How different is this from what happened in Cherokee Lane or what happened in Savlamar, Westmoreland? How different, Prime Minister? Well, what do you mean? The state cannot commit act of terror? Is that what you're saying? The state cannot commit act of terror? I'm not sure Jamar's Ferguson parents and family would be of that view, Prime Minister. I mean, we all get around to the terror word.
It's an act of terror, but take it out of the context of political terrorism. This is criminal terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
This is designed to...
Also, in that case, then, the killing of Jamar Ferguson is state terrorism, like how you described last night happening as criminal terrorism. So we can classify yours as state terrorism, rightly so, isn't it? Talk. Can you just
bring on
Hold on.
the people of the community the highest level of fear. As the families would have pointed out to me, they don't feel safe, they want to move. They feel that there could be other attacks coming. This is designed to undermine the effectiveness of the state, because this area was not without policing. This area was a part of the policing strategy to keep crime down in the area. There was police presence here, there was intelligence, but these men felt that they were emboldened.
What happened to the intelligence and all that, Prime Minister? What happened to the police in the intelligence and that community that was on the list of whatever you're talking about? What happened? Because everything went wrong last night. What, your intelligence failed, or you stopped get intelligence from that community? You're just not making much sense. You are not making much sense, Prime Minister. Not right now.
In a barefaced way, to come into this area and show that they are not in fear of the law, and in fact, they could commit a crime with impunity, and as if there will be no consequence for this crime being committed. I'm here to...
Anyway, that's it with him. But the Prime Minister just cannot bring himself to acknowledge the Jamar Ferguson situation. Let's look at further update video from Commodore and what took place last night. Bear with us.
When they come, them say police, and because I mean at the police clothes, everybody thought was police. The truth, and them trying to gun at me. And I say, Lord Jesus Christ, and then he take back the gun off of me, and I saw the shooting.
What happened after that?
I saw the shooting and start shoot. So as comes, I find out say I'm not police. I would not be police. You understand? Cause we are say I make the police them would shoot up people. Because them always come there when them come. When the police then come, them always run out and say, police.
So if it is not police that did the attack, the bad man them have intelligence to know how when police run up on that yard, how police take them. That's why them use that tactics on them to create that disaster that they did last night. Or is it that police officer working with them tell them say, when you go there, just jump out of the car and say police, everybody are go obedient to you.
And you know, people that surrender and so forth. So everybody surrender.
What was it like witnessing that? Because they said police and they turned it away from you.
Yeah, so and I'm gonna go inside of the shop because the baby was beside me. And I take my baby and go inside the shop and lie down on my belly with my baby and my daughter, and I start prayer. Beg God to cover me.
Yeah. How are you related to the persons who died? How are you related to the persons who died?
It's my granddaughter.
Let's listen to another reporting from the scene. Hold on. Bear with.
No, it's minutes to 3 o'clock here in Commodore District, Linstead, St. Catherine. It's a very misty morning, difficult to see, almost as difficult to grasp. The story of what happened here mere hours ago. Now we understand that shortly before 9 o'clock, a group of heavily armed men with M16 rifles, made their way into the yard that's just a stone's throw behind me. Now, if you can look carefully, it's right where the fluorescent light is, and you can still see crime scene investigators processing the scene. Now, the men yelled police and shot 9 people. 5 of them died. Among the dead, a 4-year-old girl and a woman. The other 3 victims were men. Now, of the 4 injured persons, 2 of them, we understand, are in critical condition. Now, CVM News spoke with the head of the Area 5 Police, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Christopher Phillips.
Well, the men pounced on them and said that they are police officers, but we know otherwise. You know, that's not the kind of operations of the police force.
And when that happened, have you had any reports from residents in terms of what their immediate reaction was when the men came and said police?
I believe that's what contributed to so many persons being shot because they, were very much obedient, because they felt that they were police.
Gab, that bit when I listened it today jump out at me when him say we know it was not police because we know how police operate. How you so certain, sir? And what intelligence or what evidence you make that assumption, or is it a guesstimation? But that jump out at me when the police officer said, we know it's not police. It's not our type of police not no specific way to operate, sir. It's just given how junk or how high or how adrenaline rush you all are at that particular point. We don't have no ordinary way of doing things.
Police, Assistant Commissioner of Police. Now it's Minister 3 o'clock here in Commodore District, Linstead, St. Catherine. It's a very misty morning, difficult to see, almost as difficult to grasp. The story of what happened here mere hours ago. Now we understand that shortly before 9 o'clock, a group of heavily armed men with M16 rifles, made their way into the yard that's just a stone's throw behind me. Now if you can look carefully, it's right where the fluorescent light is, and you can still see crime scene investigators processing the scene. Now, the men yelled police and shot 9 people. 5 of them died. Among the dead, a 4-year-old girl and a woman. The other 3 victims were men. Now, of the 4 injured persons, 2 of them, we understand, are in critical condition. Now, CVM News spoke with the head of the Area 5 Police, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Christopher Phillips.
Well, the men pounced on them and said that they are police officers, but we know otherwise. That's not the kind of operations of the police force.
And when that happened, have you had any reports from residents in terms of what their immediate reaction was when the men came and said police?
I believe that's what.
Remember, the government have a skilling squad in the army named Sea Taco something another. They were called Spear or something like that at one point. But these people last night, Prime Minister, are not wild shooters. Prime Minister, I'm a wild shooter them last night. Don't try fool us, Prime Minister. Last night shooters weren't just people firing wild shots.
Contributed to so many persons being shot because they, were very much obedient, because they felt that they were police officers. One person reported that the men were dressed in vests looking like what the police were.
Well, Sharon, maybe that is something the police officers need to tell us from their intelligence as to why them always a guard a yard if criminal people in the yard or whatever, or the yard harbor criminal or is close. The police need to give us more information. They can't just treat with blank. They can't just treat with blank. So that's why we not feel any better or safer with the police and their activity, because their information are just so not forthcoming. It doesn't give you any resolution, satisfaction, nothing to hold on to, nothing at all.
Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of Area 5, right? We are in the community of Commodore, in the Linstead police area. A very unfortunate, and I might say a very awful scene where 9 persons were shot, 5 persons have so far confirmed dead. And we are here, trying to put together, the pieces to determine what really triggered such an awful situation. The community of Linstead has been doing pretty well since this year. Last year, this time, they were seeing something like 20 odd murders compared to just 8 murders up to this point until we have this very unfortunate situation. The indicators so far are suggesting that this might be a continuation of gang conflict, which comes as a surprise to us because really and truly this era has been.
Then police officer, Uno, Andrew, just tell us that Uno used to have intelligence span the era. Is it that because to say Uno thinks say Uno bring down crime in that area, Uno take Uno high intelligence or everything off of the area completely? Or the area become too peaceful so Uno decide to create Uno mayhem in there? Me not understand Uno warped talking. You fix it and you just walk away left it. Uno need to tell us if Uno didn't have any intelligence. What Uno couldn't prevent last night massacre. That Uno fi tell we.
Quiet for a while. And so now we have all our senior investigators. We have several senior officers who are on scene. We're trying to quickly, ensure that we have a strong response to the situation here. Unfortunately, in the numbers, we have a 4-year-old who, was brutally killed earlier. We are disturbed by what happened. The community is in shock. And so we are going to be providing the kind of leadership and resources that would bring a speedy resolve to this situation. Well,
I wish when Jamar was murdered, somebody could come out and give us all these warped pleasantries. Somebody could have just come out and make up the analysis story and tell we. But the fact that Uno behave like it not happen, because Uno think to say, if Uno go shoot up Linstead last night, it a go stop with and talk about Jamar and talk about Linstead. No, officers and government, all of them tied together. Murder and murder. Whoever carry them out, murder and murder, the all of them tied together.
We confirmed that we have 6 males and 3 females who were impacted. And as I indicated, 2 females died and 3 males died from the encounter. It started along the roadway into a yard along Commodore. Sometime there about 8:45. Thereabout, it was reported that several men came down the road, rushed in the yard, and pretending to be police officers. In fact, it was said that they were dressed. Some of the men were dressed in police looking vests, which is pretty concerning for us as investigators.
Pretty concerning it ought to be. But another first we know of police give badman access to them uniform or some form of police camouflage looking thing to go commit crime. It's not the first police and JDF member caught with illegal gun or in these illegalities. So we have to throw them in the same box as those who they call gangsters. When we ruffle up the box, whoever come up in our hand we deal with. But we cannot be sure that last night massacre, the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the government have no involvement. We just cannot be sure. We hope it's not the case. The fact, though, on our side, we cannot be sure. Whoops, hold on.
At this time, because it doesn't represent the kind of operations of the police. Well, it's what we would refer to as a bigger kind of setting, several houses within the confined space. Really a family setting. Most persons were enjoying their Sunday afternoon. The interesting thing is that it's not a yard that is strange to the police, because we've had reasons before to visit that location on numerous occasions. So we're aware, of some of the long-standing issues and challenges that were impacting that particular family. This police zone, last year this time we had something in the region of 20 odd murders, and just 8 murders up to this point. Linstead space in particular was just seeing 4 murders up to this point. So as I said before, Linstead was doing pretty well, and so this really comes as a shocker to us.
It comes as a shocker because you would have dropped the ball, or your prime minister and your good self is lying about those intelligence on a claim on a talk about. Let's listen to the final video on this matter. Then we'll go to the prime minister and the leader of the opposition. Bear with.
My left here is Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. Christopher Phillips. He's in charge of PR5. For those of you who don't know, in PR5 encompasses St. Catherine North, St. Catherine South, St. Thomas, and St. Andrew North. And this lady to his right, the Senior Superintendent Leader Guy, and she is the officer in charge of the CCN, Constabulary Communication Network. We have other persons are here. And this morning we are here because of that incident that took place last night, which led to the death of a student and also the injury of another student. So, ACP Phillips, Ms. Garrett, we're just here. We want to, before we start, I'm going to ask the board chairman just to offer a word of prayer.
When I heard the barrage, sat down, recommend my wife was really traumatized now. But I said, don't be calm. Noticed the heard it subsided and people leaving in a hurry. Then I started to call members of the community that I know is in close proximity. How are you doing? Are you alive? Yes. And when I was assured that they were fine, then I went to bed. It's a tough one. Never ever in my lifetime in Commodore we had 5 people destroyed at the same time. Never.
And she took a picture of the child, which I placed on my status to celebrate my student, as I've always done. And I gave her $1,000. I gave the child $1,000. And I gave the aunt $1,000. And said, just buy some refreshment in there for the little girl. It's her birthday. And to hear in the middle of the night, my phone kept ringing that she died. I cried. So I can only conclude by saying it is time for us to stop the crime and violence. It's time for us to stop killing our children. And I have all confidence that the Jamaica Constabulary Force will do justly. We continue to support our staff as they're mourning. They were beautiful children. We all cried together at this time. And I know the Ministry of Education from Region 6, they're on their way to offer additional support, and we thank them in advance. So may we continue to unite against this monster of crime and protect our children at all costs. Thank you so very much again for coming.
No. A life is a life. The killing of anyone is a regrettable and awful action. But Jamar's murder, Prime Minister, was as tragic as what took place last night. What, in my reasoning, makes Jamar's murder, Prime Minister, more tragic is the length the security service went to carry out the crime. Can you imagine, Prime Minister, Jamar being at home alone, thinking he was safe when the police officers turn up, and for them to have taken him back upstairs, Prime Minister, and 2 police officers pumped 4 bullets into him? You cannot get more tragic than that, Prime Minister. And I tell you why you cannot get more tragic than that. Because those are the very same people you expect or rely on to protect you. And when they took you back upstairs in that house, with probably you thinking that they're taking you up there to go and search, Prime Minister. You know, but no see a car, them a car you go up there, go murder you, plant gun upon you. Prime Minister, that is tragic. Tragic. And to date your mouth can use the word Jamar Ferguson. You are no stranger to Cherry Tree, Prime Minister. You and the frock wearing, heels wearing, bra, chicken breast, and wig pastor was there when a similar massacre like one carry out last night. But don't think to say, oh no, I got chip with half of the Jamar story. The all of them joined together at the hip, Prime Minister. So me not go separate them. Crime by gangsters and the security service are Siamese. They are Siamese criminal. The all of them joined together, Prime Minister, at the hip. So we can't talk about one and don't talk about the other. And we can recognize when the ununiformed police them carry out the killing, but when the uniformed police carry out the killing, Prime Minister, you don't want to talk about it? Who no one so bright? Well, Nikita Burchell is certainly not my favorite cup of tea when it comes to politics. But Nikita Burchell came with something brilliant, something I think the entire People's National Party ought to have run with, because these are the type of services that the people need. And if there's some burden placed in the way of the people to access the service, then bringing the service to the people is a brilliant idea. And I think the rest of PNP MPs ought to be rolling out this Burchell new thingy. What would you call it? Let's see. But I think this is a great idea.
Hello, South St. James. So today
I think it's a great idea. Brilliant way of serving your constituency. So I hope the rest of the People's National Party, and not just them, even when I don't labor right, we can't almost say present, even though the present one them gone. But the fact that most of them don't anyway. I hope even the labor rights them can say this is a model that will bring benefits and bring services closer to the people. So me hope the rest of PNP and me hope Labour can see the need to do something of this sort that Nikita Burchell is doing in order to bring service closer to the people.
Hello, South St. James. So today we began something new. For the very first time, we're hosting what we call pop-up offices. Right here in Garland, we started. Garland is a community that feeds Moko, Niagara, Brothers Retreat, Flamstead, and all over. This is the first of its kind in our constituency, and it marks a new day, really. It is a new approach. We know South St. James is the largest constituency in St. James Parish, and we know the cost and difficulty it takes for people to travel to Montego Bay or to the divisional offices for support. So instead of asking you to come to us today, we're coming to you. And that's what service is about with your millennial type of MP and councillor. So at this pop-up office today, we're making everyday services easier and more accessible. So we're helping people with filling out passport application forms, applying for their health cards, formatting their resumes and their job letters, or emailing those job letters and resumes to potential employers. So for those persons who want assistance paying their traffic tickets and fines online or setting up their accounts, we can walk them through that. If they need the services of the Justice of the Peace, the endorsements and the signatures or their photographs to be endorsed. Of course, Councillor Swebe is a JP and we're offering that service here today. We have set up tents, tables, and private spaces so that they can talk with us about their concerns, because Garland and adjoining communities, your voice matters. Your issues deserve answers close to home, and we're bringing that to you. As millennial politicians, we're using technology and new ways of working to bridge the gap for the people. So whether it's helping you apply online, connect digitally, or simply cutting out unnecessary stress and costs, we are committed to modern, people-centered representation.
I think this is brilliant. When it comes to serving the people, when it comes to people-centered service, I think this is something brilliant coming from Nikita Burchell. And I think not just the PNP, but the entire 63 NP should model their services on how Nikita Burchell is approaching the thing. Because it will illustrate. And after the time we come on a constituency office, we don't get for soon, we don't go soon. Face the children going through in slippers, dragging secretary when on a manners. So this is a brilliant idea, something that the government and the opposition should see to it that that is how their MPs deliver service to the people. Maybe we would get to see them more. If them even do this once a month or once a fortnight. Or you choose this time you're there this community, the next month you're there the next community, because you thingy rather, what you call it, your constituency have whole heap of division and different wards within that division. So you have a broad area to cover. So this is what Nikita Burchell is doing. I think this is a good idea when it comes to providing service to the people. And I think this should be rolled out island-wide, because I want the constituency office there, when the entire constituency have to travel from wherever they're coming from to that office, and everybody probably can afford it, or some of we older people them, it's a hassle for them to come all the way, come look that service and not get it. So bringing the service closer to the people couldn't have been more brilliant. Call the dunce. Call the dunce. Equal amongst equal. Prime Minister. Now, the Prime Minister started a constitutional reform, which he appointed a committee to carry out the constitutional review, and that review would provide them the necessary information for the constitutional reform. There were different phases, I think about 1, 2, 3 phases. When we got to phase 1, when we so-called haphazardly, I thought, finish the consultation for phase 1, the People's National Party refused to sign off on phase 1 consultation when it is alleged that them is about to block road tomorrow. Which part, Simone Linstead? So when phase 1, so-called consultation was finished, the People's National Party refused to sign off on it because there were many areas the Prime Minister refused to take into account, which Mark Golding was of the view that the Prime Minister ought to have taken into account, like diaspora affairs, issues of the Rastafarian community, issues of the Maroon Committee, and the final court, St. James. And the final court, those were Mr. Golden's point he wanted to negotiate on. The Prime Minister, with his 49 cracked egg at the time, refused to even meet with Mr. Golden to have negotiation and made some compromise on the issue. Not at all. Prime Minister just hold him stiff up on neck. So we are powerful. We have the numbers. We don't have to negotiate with you. Prime Minister, before you come in, come mash it up. There was a thing called Vale Royal talk, Prime Minister. PJ Patterson and Eddie Siaga used to have that Vale Royal most Tuesday morning, Prime Minister. Vale Royal, never heard of it before? But rather than the Prime Minister negotiate with the People's National Party on the issues Mark Golding raised, the Prime Minister went out on a birtherist and racist attack against Mark Golding, color, culture, place of birth, and history. And you know where it ended up. So till Mark Golding have to thump him in and back with him birth paper and the election debate. The Prime Minister, on his inauguration, extend the olive branch to Mark Golding. He asked Mark Golding to let both of them work together in order to actualize Jamaica's independence. Opal's Kitchen, how you do? Long time no see. To actualize Jamaica's independence. So I was thinking, or what most Jamaicans would have gathered from that, is that Prime Minister Holness is ready to negotiate with Mr. Golding on the issues that came to a stalemate in the constitutional review. Mr. Golding apparently sought a meeting with the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister, Oh, yeah, this thing. Okay, okay. The Prime Minister, rather than having the conversation, the Prime Minister said, Pew, let him speak to Delroy. Delroy is my Justice Secretary. That's not how it worked, though, Prime Minister. The stalemate is between you and Mr. Golden as to what you want and what Mr. Golden wants. Now, I can see why you wouldn't want to attend such a meeting with Mr. Golden, because you would be way out of your depth. The reason why you'd be way out of your depth, Prime Minister, is because you have no reason, you have no idea what Mark Golden will be talking about. So, you go out of your depth with everything. How that meeting ought to be arranged, Prime Minister, is you and Mark Golden, you bring along your Justice Secretary, and Mark Golden bring along his Shadow Justice Secretary. But you don't have the numbers, Prime Minister, to be toughing it out on this. You, Andrew Holness, is the one who needs the support on this. If you want your constitutional reform to be put through, Prime Minister, you must negotiate with Mr. Golden on this. There's no other way around it. Probably about 5 years, you have not done Vale Royal. Prime Minister, when you get the tantamount in a 2020, you cancelled what Vale Royal mean and represents in our country, where our government and leader of opposition go to discuss and negotiate issue where them get to a stalemate on. That's what Vale Royal used to be in our country, Prime Minister. What you need to do is get to the idea that 5 year of unlimited legislative power, Prime Minister, is over. So if you want to get nothing to Parliament, if you want to get nothing to Parliament, you must negotiate with Mark Golden. You must compromise, Prime Minister. Otherwise, you will have a lot of hiccups of 5 years of your legislative agenda. And we are not. But Vale Royal, them can't go do the talk at a hotel. All they have to go do is book a hotel conference room for 2 hours or how much ever hours they think they have to need. Same way Andrew Holness thief with money and the way one do with it. Then book a conference room, book a conference room in a hotel or wherever to have these discussion. Or Jamaica House, where Andrew bringing online friend and company them in a set office, create somewhere over the plenty ministry as somewhere where you can have the discussion. PJ Patterson and Siaga used to go a hotel at Tuesday daytime, go have for them discussion. What Andrew Holness wants to do, him use the country's money, do it. But when it's anything to benefit the country, Andrew think him to hold him hand back on with money. But no, Prime Minister, it is a disrespect, or I don't know if it is your lack of experience or lack of knowledge to ask Mark Golden to go and negotiate with Delroy Chuck, Prime Minister. Very disrespectful. Or it shows a massive lack of understanding, because this issue is outstanding from last year, Prime Minister, where you have a different point of view. Let's just limit it down to the final court. You want to stay with Prince Charles, grace and mercy of the slave master. Mark Golding wants to cut tie completely with the slave master. Are you and Mark Golding have a compromise on that, Prime Minister? Not Mark Golding and Delroy Chuck, you idiot. What you ought to do is have a meeting with Mark Golding and bring Minister Finkenstein to explain to you the legalese that Mr. Golding is speaking about. But the fact is, Andrew Holness, the fact is, we don't know haste for you on the Constitution, you know. We can wait for another 5 years, Prime Minister, till PNP come in power. We really can wait. We not in no haste for you touch nothing for we. Because anything you hang up on Prime Minister is a death summon. Anything Andrew Holness hang up on is a death summon. So we're not really in no haste for you really finger and fondle with Constitution. We'll wait till we and PNP can sort it out. Because Andrew, we not trust you. Buster, Siaga, Bruce, Andrew, the whole of no turn gun at with labor right leaders. Labor right leaders, the whole of no turn gun at we. Same how you see Andrew Holness and Kevin Blake and Horace Changa do the mass shooting them now. And same way Siaga used to do in the 80s. Ask Rastaman Mo Buster. Ask Evelyn Tide, old woman them about Siaga. Ask Tivoli Gardens about Bruce Golden. And ask Jamaican young men and mothers about Andrew Holness. And Otide Galangen. It's within on a DNA labor right when we go to power. When we turn gun pan we. Then we left the purse wide, empty, open. Choose Jamaica. Choose JLP. And that we get murderers and thief. Thief were Warrell Reid. Case pushed back for tomorrow. Thief were Andrew Holness. And in a court the 13th. We don't know shame, you know. Them Shearer and Donald Sangster were on a poison after a few days. The labor rights are not terrible, no. On a poison on a very own labor rights. Labor rights. On a poison on a very own for position. We're afraid of no labor rights. So we are telling us that we don't know haste. Who no trouble with Constitution. No haste at all. Because we know that if Andrew Holness trouble with Constitution, it's going to be for Andrew and Juliet's benefit. We have given too much of this country to them already. We don't control the legislature and the executive. God help the few puny judge were left out the way I hold the fort. So we don't know he is Prime Minister. And what Mark Golding should do is tell you to fuck off, you little dunce. Who are you talking to? You've never been to law school. So you should be graceful to sit down in front of Mark Golding and be educated about how constitutional reform done, you buffoon. Anyway, I don't want to go ham on the Prime Minister tonight. But all Mark Golding and them lot have to do, string it out. String it out. One should know by now the people of Jamaica is not interested for Andrew Holness touch them constitution. We're not interested. We're not interested because we know to say Andrew Holness is going to be and his family is going to be the beneficiary. Trust me, Gab, you know, say, you read my mind because me said that thing today, you know, when me a cuss Andrew this evening, before me come live, me say, the money when him waste, go do Doctor of Law and Policy. If he had done an LLB, he would have had a vast understanding. But then again, RJ Marks write the same thing for him. So, me don't know. This your Prime Minister just so. But all Mark Golden have to do is standing ground. And if Mark Golden cave in, Mark Golden wouldn't like to see what we do with him round here. So if Mark Golden cave in and capitulate to the criminal, the election thief, the money thief, we are going in front of court next week, Mark Golden wouldn't like what happened to him round here. So we're not interested in an Andrew Touchwood constitution. We see that Andrew Holness is a dictator. There's a rush with Andrew Holness and with Constitution, and that alone should alert and alarm we. Why is Andrew Holness in such a higger for turn republic when him make us say something about this subject? The issue of the legalization of Obia. I don't have a problem with the Obia per se. The problem is both Jamaica and Haiti, as the history is, have used those spiritual practices in order to advance war and freedom during the days of plantation. So we saw where if use it in our benefit, it can benefit us. What I disagree with, though, a corrupt Jamaican society where Obia has gone AWOL, where we use it for affect us negatively than to advance us positively, as how it was used by Nanny of the Maroon or Dessalines and Bookman Duty of Haiti, who one of them were Jamaican as well. But where we have gotten to with it as a society, where we use it to kill one another, we use it to keep down one another, we use it to keep other people picking it duns, we use it to take what people man, we use it to do all sort of fuckery. And this is the problem I have when you legalize the thing, because I think you're going to just legalize people for knock hammer after one another day go there come. And the Obia man them pocket I got even fuller. Everybody I go come from east, west, north, and south, come set up Obia shop. So be careful where this might end up, because Jamaica people have a way of using things against themselves rather than to use it for them benefit. Because we were told that Nanny used it in a very powerful way during slavery. We understand that that was the driving force of the Haitian Revolution, which gave them independence over 200 years ago. Would we use it like that now? Or would we use it to kill one another, keep down one another, take with people, man, break up marriage, keep down people business, keep down people children, and all of that? That is the danger. That for me is the danger of flying the gate. Ball out, Lord God Almighty. For me, that is the danger. Michelle, how you do? So, we must know where we're going as a nation, and you must understand where this Adventist boy is going as a nation. But remember, Siaga did very big in Obia. Siaga is Andrew Holness teacher. So the chip never fly too far from the block. But we must keep our eye on Andrew Holness. Even though we have a little barrier against him with the legislative brouhaha, he can't go on a legislative rant for this 5-year period as he has done in the last 5 years because he doesn't have the number. And this is why I'm annoyed with the People's National Party when it comes to stinging Juliet Holness up in that chair. Because I think Mr. Golden ought to have made it clear to Andrew Holness the only way we will support any legislative agenda of your government is that Ms. Holness is being removed from the Speaker's chair. If Andrew wants to play it tough, then Andrew will go to a 5-year of Parliament without being able to pass a legislation. And that will be dismal for Andrew's accomplishment down the road. So, thank you very much for being here tonight. Lovely to have your support. And tell the Prime Minister, say, if we're not planning on shooting, we don't want to jump off a Jamar story and come out, no, we will tie boats together. Both of them are shooting. Both of them are Jamaicans Prime Minister who died by bullet. So there's a commonality in what happened. So we can tie everything together. All right? If you're new to the program, please give us a follow. So when we go live, you certainly will get a notification. Thank you very much for being here. Let me take you down, Debbie. You look like you're... Hold on. Thank you very much for being here. It's 1:20 in England in the morning now. Lovely to have your support, as always. And please do join us back tomorrow morning for your At a Glance program. Thank you very much, and good night from Global TV.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. That's a people day. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear not hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make God what I seen him. Make him and throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him and throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out and sell out Babylon. They give man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. men are red. How they want to see the dead and can sell out Rasta. I sell a house, I sell out Babylon. Yes, come on, the Friday. Give a Joe and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to a wicked man. Oh, what a black thing, give a Joe and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to a wicked man. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one, big him and Joe one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black big him and Joe one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman Joe one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.